John Sarbanes, in a very short time in Congress, has made a big difference. And I just want to acknowledge the leadership, the passion he has for the issues that we care about. He's someone who is eager to speak on our behalf and is one who can make a difference. And I want to thank him personally and on behalf of all of us here for his leadership. Congressman Sarbanes.
Good evening. Thank you all for this recognition. I appreciate it, but I want to recognize you for what you're doing. There's assembled here in this room sort of the core of the advocacy network that exists on behalf of the environment across the country, and we need you now more than we've ever needed you. There is an all-out assault going on our environment. I look at it through the lens of the Chesapeake Bay. It began back with H.R. 1 when they wanted to cut the budget of the EPA by a third, which essentially is saying to the polluters of America, it's a holiday. They're trying to put these riders into just about every piece of legislation that moves here. They try to throw a rider into there that will handcuff the ability of the EPA to do its job. So you've got to keep your voices loud, and coming together as you're doing here to celebrate America's great outdoors is a wonderful way to do that. I'm the author of something called the No Child Left Inside Act. We keep introducing that thing, and one day we'll be at work. And as you know, the goal there is to create at the U.S. Department of Environment a dedicated grant funding to support environmental literacy across the country to get our kids outdoors. The statistics that really kind of provoke this legislation show that the average young person today is spending 7 hours a day inside on a computer, handheld devices, television, the internet, video games, and they're spending about 4 minutes, that's minutes, a day in outdoor unstructured recreation. Compare that to generations past. The effect of it is, the result of that is, less awareness of the environment, public health problems, which we see starting now at young ages, but also it undermines achievement, because when you get kids outdoors, when you, in a sense, stimulate all of their faculties and sensibilities, they learn better, and the research shows this. So this is about doing the right thing for the next generation, getting our young people outside. And what's happening in Washington is we're having a great debate, not great, grand debate, large debate. It's not great, I'll tell you that much. But we're having a debate about what our values are going to be going forward and what we're going to invest in. And my view is that what we need to be about is rebuilding this country. Americans understand implicitly what that means. And that consists of 4 components in my mind. One is obviously investing in infrastructure, which we need to do to strengthen our country. We have to invest in human capital. That's education and healthcare and technology and innovation. We've got to invest in communities. That's service and volunteerism. And we have to invest in keeping our natural resources in a condition where they're pristine on the one hand, where we save them for the next generation, but where we find ways also to use them in a responsible fashion. That is also part of keeping our nation strong. And the narrative that is being put out by the Republican majority in the House of Representatives is, yes, these things are important. Yes, we need to invest in our infrastructure and human capital, and maybe some of them will even say the environment is important. But, and that's a key word, that's a disclaimer they throw in, right? But we just don't have the resources to do these things. It's not true. The things that we need to do in this country that will make a difference, we do have the resources to do. It's a matter of will. It's a matter of priority. And that's the narrative that we have to present to the country. We're trying to rebuild this country. We're trying to make it strong. And the companion narrative is, in that enterprise, in that project, everybody has to be asked to step up and contribute their fair share. If we do it that way, we'll get through this time of adversity. And I ask you to keep fighting, keep articulating, because what's going on right now, the other side understands this, is when economic times are tough, often the environment gets pushed down the list of priorities. It's viewed as a luxury. And they understand that. And so they're coming in behind this, and they're really trying to dismantle basic protections for the environment. And we have to remind people that they do have a choice, that we can protect the environment even as we're making these other tough decisions going forward. So thank you for your collective voice. Thank you for the work that you do day in and day out. We need you now more than we have ever needed you. And thanks for this recognition.